You're listening to Hella Black, Hella Seattle, a podcast creating community for people of color in Seattle. I'm Eula, leading the interviews.
I'm Alaina, bringing you food reviews.
And I'm Jazz, adding to your weekend plans.
And we're all born and raised Seattle ladies. Hey!
Megan, how you guys doing? Oh, yeah. Well, how you doing?
Good.
Okay. Well,
Good,
that's good.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back. And remember, too, that Kiana Barfield was with us. You all enjoying us for the whole month. And so she's going to join in our conversation with Alaina today about her insights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I was trying to think of what I could speak about. And I try to give you guys something that's actually really on my mind because I think that makes for the best kind of conversation, right?
Absolutely.
And so I feel like lately within our group or just in general, I've been thinking about work ethic and accountability. I know about a week or so ago, or maybe like a couple of weeks ago, Jasmine was kind of floating an idea to me about something that I could talk about. What was your idea? Just basically like people reaching out to us and kind of just work in general and how you conduct yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Because one thing is we're receiving a lot of great requests for partnership, but we are 3 full-time working women in every direction that full-time is. You know what I mean? We have partners, we have families, we have jobs, we have experiences, and we also have ourselves to handle. So if you come about business, we need you to come about business correct.
Right. And I know at the time I was kind of hesitant because other people on other podcasts have kind of spoke about it, and I try to shy away or stay away from ideas that other people have talked about. But it kept on coming back to me, so I was thinking, let's really have a conversation about this. And I wanted to kind of just start with talking about who teaches you work ethic.
Right.
Because I think that one, you have to kind of start somewhere. And if you haven't identified people in your life that teach you how to work, how to come to work on time, how to get work done, how to stand by your work, then where do you learn those things?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no clue. School doesn't really teach you to the biggest degree at all.
No.
It's kind of something that you have to get outside of school. So I wanted to float that question to you guys.
You learn work ethic from your parents. I
Mm.
agree.
Okay.
That's where I learned my work ethic. From my mom and my dad. 2 different perspectives, though.
Yes.
My dad is an entrepreneur. He always has been. My mom is stable.
Yeah.
And so stable meaning one job, you do things this way, that way, this way, that way.
Right.
And entrepreneurs are risk takers.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you get your work ethic from your parents, even, with them having chores for you to do, responsibility and accountability in your household.
I agree.
That's where you get work ethic.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, from my dad for sure. It's different because my mom was kind of the lax parent. My mom was really sick a lot of the time when I was young, and my dad, he had to pay child support, so my dad worked like 2 or 3 jobs. So his level of patience was very short when it came to work ethic. And he would tell me first of all, he would make me and my brother walk distances like miles to school. He would pick us up and we would walk and be so up and down those valley hills from St. Therese all the way up to Madison. And we're like 7, 8 years old, and the whole time he's lecturing us and telling us nobody's going to give you anything. You have to work for yourself. You have to work hard. If you ever go to jail, I'm not picking you up. You got there how you wanted to. You got there on your own accord, so you get out on your own accord. Like he really laid it on us. So I think that's why my drive is very much like nobody's gonna do anything for me. Even if I reach the bottom of the rung, I wouldn't even, I don't know if I even could call him my dad. I could call him my dad, but I have to exhaust all of my resources personally before I reach out to anyone for help. And I think that's where my drive comes from.
Yeah.
Eula, what do you think?
I think I don't really have good work ethic. I mean, I think, so it's interesting because one of the things that we're working on with Battle Tactics right now is an episode about office housework, right? And the way that there are jobs that are like glamorous jobs and the way there are jobs that are like meh. Like, I guess if I have to, I guess. And I realized that, like, I was always such a, like, kind of an alpha personality. And my mom talks about how, like,
I wasn't a kid that she could guide. I don't know how much truth is in that because I am Beverly, right? But for me, I think I really did understand what the glamorous parts of life were, like very early on, and all of the menial things. I was like, I can get away with not doing these if I just like finagle my way around these things. And I think that sucks because it's caught up to me as a grown up who's had to land into the role of businesswoman. I would have totally been okay with being like someone's employee forever if people were paid equitably. I'm like your mom, where I'm like, I can do a stable job. Like if my job was like to just like be in retail forever and to sell stuff and to talk to people, I love that. Like I love that. And if I got paid $100,000 a year to do it, I would do that.
Yeah.
They're not gonna pay nobody equitable amount to like do women's work. So I realized like I need to like gain that skill, but I don't really feel like I got it. My dad's role was in communication the way that I speak. He was a talker, and so I always thought of that as work, and I do see that as work when I exhaust myself in conversation, if that makes sense. But what my mom did in terms of like going to a job every day for public health, like I never went to her job and was like, oh, even her job was talking. Yeah. My mom did train. She would go to school. She's a woman that would show up at a school and give you like a sex ed talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even that job is talking. So I'm good at those things, but I'm not good at like the details that go into like actual work ethic.
It's weird because definitely my parents always had jobs. They always got up and went to their job, and they were very reliable parents and all that kind of thing. But I think when I talk about like actual like real work ethic, it's so weird because I had jobs up until this point, but when I worked if you guys don't know, I worked at a dry cleaners for 13 years of my life. It was down the street from my house, and I feel like even though I had jobs and I always went to my jobs and did the various things, I think working at the cleaners, my boss, her name was Kathy, and she taught me so much about work ethic because she was just like this small Korean woman that ran the shop, that ran her whole household basically, and whether she was sick or tired or whatever, she was always there. I remember when she was going through menopause and she was so tired all the time, but she has horrible insomnia. And so like even she would be there and just bags under her eyes and like to the point where you would just be like, damn, I wish I could do something to help you in any kind of way. And whenever she found that she was really getting tired to the point where she could actually sleep, she set up a little cot in the back. Wow. And would go to sleep there. And she lived across the street. You know what I mean? But she was just so invested in her business. Yes.
And also she knew that no one run her business as well as she did.
Exactly. And that's really a huge part. So even though I would never want to take away from my parents because I know they taught me so much, I feel like her being one of the first people that I worked for, there'd be times where I'd be like, oh, I would love to call in sick or take the day off, but like if she can be here every single day, sick falling or not, falling apart, and still make it,
so can I.
Can I.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that because I do think about how like jobs have taught me work ethic, right? Because they hold you accountable. They say if you don't show up for work, you ain't got no job tomorrow.
Exactly.
If you don't do this job, you won't get paid tomorrow. So you're right. The baby of another part of it is the work. And I've had internships that have taught me some work ethic, all that.
But also to that, I think it's interesting because I think that some people, maybe someone teaches you that and then you learn. But then also they're mentors. Yeah. And I remember when I was college, I'll say, there was a person that I was friends with and she was like, oh, this person's my mentor. And I never understood the concept of a mentor, honestly. Right. And I think maybe it was because ego was wrapped up in it also. But I was just like, so I'm going to like seek someone out and then like I just ask them for help. Yeah. But like, in what? What am I asking them? Like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't make the connection. It didn't make sense to me. Didn't you say that you were talking to a mentor or something?
Yeah, I mean, I have.
What made you?
When I went into doula work, there was a woman at the training that I did at Bastyr who was like, I'm gonna hook you up with Alyssa Wareham. Alyssa Wareham mentors women of color who come in the doula field who live in Seattle. Like that's just something that like she was doing in a way that was like creating equity. She's a white woman and she wants to create equity in this world and she wants to give away all of her knowledge for free. You know what I mean? Like I got paid actually for it. So she wants to mentor people. And so like when that happened, it was just this really interesting moment of like everything you like, because doula work is you go to this like 4 days of education, and then you just can go out and say you're a doula. You know what I mean? You can read some books and say you're a doula, which is very different than somebody modeling for you what that actually looks like in real life at an actual birth. You know what I mean? So that was like such an eye opener for me. And I was like, this is what a mentor is? I get that. And so then I was like, I'm going to mentor in everything I do. So when I went into like the childbirth world, childbirth education, I like called up a woman to like mentor me that I like was like, I haven't had a chance to work with Amity as much as I'd like to, but I attended her workshop that she suggested in Portland. Like that was through her guidance. She just said to me like, you should do this, like she like birthing within workshop. She didn't go. She just was like, this is something I've done. You should do that. That's what a mentor would tell you. Like, girl, I didn't know nothing about that. And then she also let me attend her stuff when I was pregnant. And so I learned a lot from that. So I hope to use that information someday. And then I feel like Jeannie, my co-host at Battle Tactics, is absolutely my mentor in terms of radio right now. You know, and I just pretty much in my mind, if you are a person who's been doing this probably 10 years or longer, and I'm trying to do it, you're a mentor to me. You're going to tell me what to do. I don't know nothing about like what you talking about. What you talking about?
Yeah. Have you had any mentors that you can think of?
I wish I've never had a mentor. I've never known how to access a mentor. I wish that at some point I have. Not to say that I can't at some point take on a mentor, but it just hasn't been one of those things that I've been yet.
Yeah.
Kiana?
I do.
Yeah? You have a mentor?
I do.
Do you mentor people?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Too good.
I think that a mentor is somebody that has something that you want.
Yeah.
Or they are something that you want to be.
Right.
And then you have to be bold enough to reach out to them and
Right.
say, hey.
And humble.
And humble.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I remember when I first got into real estate sales, the aspect of it, the sales aspect of it, I reached out to some of the top people in the game.
Yeah, that's so smart.
And they didn't mentor me.
Did they respond at all, or?
They did. Some of them did, some of them didn't. But guess what? That taught me work ethic.
Yeah, show up with something.
You know how you really, really get work ethic too? Failure.
Yes.
I know that's right.
Absolutely.
I mean, Beyonce still talks about how she didn't win that
failure.
That one little award. What was that thing? What was that thing with
whatever it was?
The NBA intro?
Oh, Star Search.
Star Search. Like, she feels like in her feelings about that. And I'm not mad at her. I'm just saying, like, everybody be in their feelings about that. You worked up all this energy to do that, and you were like, well, the girl's going home.
Yeah.
That was real.
That water
Is it safe?
good? I
Yeah,
don't know
it
where
is.
that came
It is
from.
definitely water. No, it's here in Canton, but I know Bubba would just have regular water. My cousin doesn't even like drink
It's
liquor.
water.
Yes, it's water.
Well, you guys are the ones who had me
clean.
I just went to make. No, I just didn't know where the water came from.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
about you, Alaina? Have you had a mentor?
No. I mean, so actually it's very funny though, because so I never really understood how to go about getting a mentor. I think I was not humble enough to have a mentor. I just didn't see where that fit in in my life, really. But I think I never also had clear guidance of what I wanted to do.
Right.
So I didn't really know how to sit down with someone and be like, you know what, I don't really know what I want to do. Can you help me?
Right.
Like where do we even start off? You know what I mean? But it's funny because in my job now, I would absolutely say that my boss is my mentor. And it's very funny because I remember when I first started working, I am a trainer, so I train new employees that come through, and I train a bunch of different things that happen. And I remember when I first sat down when I was a temporary trainer for 6 months, and my boss said, you know, I'm going to mentor you in this. And I remember being like,
Right.
and the ego in me, in my head, I'm like, I didn't never ask for a mentor though. Like, I don't know. Excuse you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And but then like really, I mean, I think that was just a snap. You know, it was one of those stupid things. But she's mentored me so much,
Right.
and everything that I have learned about training and engaging people and all of these things, she has helped me so much that she's absolutely one of the biggest mentors that I've ever had in my life.
Right.
So I think it's helpful to have some sort of direction, of course, but I think a huge part is realizing that you have to be humble enough to accept that knowledge from someone else, to accept the fact that you don't know everything. And I think that's an interesting part that I don't know if a lot of people really speak about. In terms of that.
No, and I think too, like, I've mentored like a lot, like a bit lately, and what I feel like I've learned from mentoring is that, like, there's no perfect person to mentor. You know what I mean? You show up, you be yourself, you offer the knowledge and information that you have. A person might really be like, oh, you're the one, you're going to give me everything I need, it's going to change my life. Some people might be like, I'm going to take up the 3 things I really learned from you, you know, but give people what you got to offer, and if you feel like there's some impression you can make in their lives, be open to being that influence. Don't feel like you have to, like, be, you know, you remember, you know, ever seen those adoption commercials where it's like somebody doing something silly and it's like, you don't have to be perfect to adopt. It feels like that. It's like, you don't have to be perfect to mentor. Just be, like, be willing to tell somebody the mistakes you've made.
Right.
You can mentor
and that's
anybody.
the huge thing.
That's the key.
Yeah. That's great. So one of the other things that, just in terms of work ethic, I was just wondering what you guys consider to be good work ethic, because I feel like that's kind of what Jazz was getting to me about when you were first talking about it, is kind of like, what are some business things that you should be doing? What are some things that you stick by? And so I can definitely say that some of the biggest things that I consider to add to my work ethic that make me who I am is, one, doing what I'm going to do. And it's funny because I had to learn with that with my boss too, is that, like, the minute I would tell her I was going to do something, she would hold me accountable to that. And she'd be like, so you said you were going to do this. And I had to realize that I was shooting myself in the foot. Because, like, I could also stop telling you that I was going to do things. And then you wouldn't hold me to those things. But the minute I say it, then you're going to expect it, right? Which makes sense.
I'm making banana bread tomorrow.
Right. Exactly.
Bread?
Where's my
No, I'm not
where's
making
my
banana
bread?
bread.
But that's how it is with kids. You can't say you're going to do a thing, they're going to hold you accountable.
Yes, they are. They don't forget anything.
They do not forget nothing.
So doing what you say you're going to do, and being punctual.
Yes.
I think that I am one of the, like, I try to always be on time. On the weekends, you might catch me, I'm 30 minutes off, and I will definitely say that in advance. But typically I think also, because I think I just have a random skill of, like, accounting for time very well. Like, I know how long it's going to take about to get here or there. And I also have no problem with being early. You know what I mean? Which I think is huge in work ethic too. Like, you should be early. When the old saying, like, when you're early, you're on time. When you're on time, you're late. I'd be by that, like, to the T. If you just got on time and no one else is there, you're lucky. But if everyone else is there and it's right on time,
you're the last person there.
You're the last person there now.
That's interesting. No, totally. Today I was just on time, and I was the first person here, and I was, like, blown away. But then I was like, they probably lied to me on purpose.
No.
I know, but I'm working on it. I really am working on trying to be more accountable for stuff.
I need to.
But I want to be on time. That's my thing. Is, like, I really want to show up and to be my best self. I don't want to be a distraction from, like, things that I'm good at.
Right. And that's a great point, right? Because, I mean, if you end up showing up late to something, that's kind of what people are looking at now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're the smart person that showed up late. Girl, how smart are you?
Exactly.
But you might have missed the whole conversation. So how good are you that
No, it's so true.
What are there some keys to good work ethic for you?
Consistency. And I think that's across the board in friendships, relationships. That goes down to diet and exercise. For me, consistency is major. Because if you are that, and that goes back to saying you're going to do a thing. So if you mentally say you want a thing and you're going to do it, then you should make a plan and a goal and change your mindset to really fulfill that thing. And once it becomes consistent, like if you're doing it every day, like getting up early, if you get up 15 minutes earlier every day, then you'll probably be early, on time.
But you got to do it every day.
And it has to be consistent.
Yeah, you can't have days off.
The same with diet, like. even if you eat that same meal, I'm one of those people that can eat the same thing. And I know that doesn't work for everybody, you know, but I'm one of those people that can really eat the same thing every day for lunch.
Yeah.
And that, for me, that's consistency. So that works on a scale for a diet.
Wrap your hair at night.
Girl, I feel like my natural's finally in its happiest place.
Yeah.
And it's finally outgrown the wrap. Because my wrap was fly.
You did have a wrap.
Girl,
Yeah.
I could still do it.
Yes. No, the
Tie it up and
And by
everything.
wrap, we mean hair. Wrap your
wrap,
hair
yes.
when it's straight.
Fresh
Yes.
and
But also wrap it
for
when it's
those
natural.
that didn't know.
But also wrap it when
wrap
it's
your-
natural. You're supposed to wrap your hair at night when it's natural.
Girl.
So do that step 2. Get
yes,
consistent.
absolutely. And then there was another one. So
Consistency.
I want to say timeliness, but in terms of getting back to people, I hate to have people waiting on me. Even when it's like emails, or if my boss asks me to do a thing, or even if it's for Hella Black, I'm very timely. Like I'll ask for a response. I like to respond back to people because I like for people to get back to me promptly. So I'm very timely, and I know that not everybody works that same way, but I think that is important because it sucks to be the person waiting for a response.
Right. Right.
You know, and I think that looks unreliable when you reach out to somebody for something and you're waiting for days or for hours or even for, you know, for someone to respond back. So timeliness and consistency are really, really important things for me.
Discipline.
Yeah.
And that kind of encompasses all of
All
those
those
Totally.
things.
things. Yeah.
Totally.
Discipline. Having the discipline
Yeah.
to do what you say you're gonna do, to start it and to finish it
Yes.
from beginning to end.
Like this 10-day fast.
Right.
Juice fast, you're
Right.
That's discipline
amazing.
and consistency.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm learning.
Yeah.
That's a journey. To be disciplined is to be journey.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a journey because you are teaching yourself something new every time we're trying to discipline ourselves in a new area of our life, right? So, diet for me now, and then punctuality for me.
Yeah. I hear that. If you're interested in being interviewed on the show, want Alaina to know about your restaurant, or Jazz to mention your event, reach out to us at hellablackhellaseattle@gmail.com. If you know of job opportunities where people are trying to hire more people of color and we can mention that on the show, reach out to us at hellablackhellaseattle@gmail.com. And lastly, if you'd like to use our platform for an ad for your space, event, or business, reach out to us at hellablackhellaseattle@gmail.com. Our episodes are recorded at Critical Sun Studios. Special thanks to Bubba Jones, our producer and editor, along with the creator of our theme music. We also want to give a special shout out to Victoria Snivment, the creator of our logo. For follow-up on anything that you've heard on the show, please check out our website, hellablackhellaseattle.com. And you can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at HellaBlackHellaSeattle, all one word.